Alright, YouTube, what's going on? Hope everyone had a great Christmas and great holiday. And I wanted to get on here and discuss a topic that's been circulating in the news. It's something that happened a while back, but it's kind of been circulating again, and I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I could not help but discuss it on this channel. It's just too fucking funny, and it's just so ironic, and just the irony behind this too. It's like how how ironic. So, for those of you who don't know, like many years ago, there were these certain laws in certain like southern states that were enacted, called like no promo homo laws. They were aimed at banning the discussion of homosexuality and so-called alternative lifestyles in public schools and whatnot. And many like right-wing states apparently had these laws in their books, and actually the UK actually had these laws on their books until like the early 2000s. These laws are like similar to like the fucking anti-gay laws in Russia and a few other Central Asian countries that like ban the discussion of homosexuality and blah blah fucking blah. So on this, apparently Alabama was the latest state to abolish the no promo homo laws, and that leaves just four states left in the U.S. with these laws: Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Mississippi. I think this is too fucking funny because you know you got a fucking problem when Alabama is more progressive on LGBT rights than your state. Mississippi is on the border of Alabama, so this makes Alabama more progressive on LGBT rights than fucking Mississippi or Texas or Oklahoma or Louisiana for that matter. So it's like, okay, so like Alabama just exited the Dark Ages, so now they're like okay, we're just gonna say pretty much, you know what, there's no use for this bullshit, so fuck it. That's basically what they said. So I don't know what kind of governor they have there, because I didn't do that much research into that, but I just think it was just too funny to not. I just think it was too funny to like not cover this, because it's just the irony of the fact that Alabama somehow is slowly emerging. So I mean, this is a good thing. I mean, hey, I mean, you can't sit there and be like, oh, fuck them or whatever, because no, we need to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, you know, maybe they're having a change of leadership. Maybe this is a sign of future progress. I mean, look at Virginia, for example. Virginia was in fact the first southern state to enact LGBT protections in 2020, and they were one of the many states that didn't have LGBT protections, and Virginia enacted these protections. Utah did the same thing. Back in 2014. So it is slowly emerging. In this repeal of the no promo homo laws in Alabama it's a major milestone, especially for somewhere like that. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, like I said, you know you got a problem. If Alabama's more progressive than you on LGBT rights, then you got a fucking problem. And you are really fucking backward if Alabama is more progressive on you on civil rights. And that's not to say that, oh yeah, this is like, okay, but still they got work to do, okay? They're one of the many states in this country that still lacks LGBT protections. They're one of the many states that still has that. They're one of the many. And they also, trust me, they got other fucking problems too. They definitely got other fucking problems too. But on this, yeah. But apparently on this, they're somehow better than Mississippi. They're somehow better than Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma. So apparently, I guess they're better than them on this. So, It's just fucking crazy. So no, I mean, we got to give them the benefit of the doubt. So, anybody can change. I mean, look at how far the U.S. has gone on LGBT rights. I mean, to be fair, I mean, as a Western country, we are still really far behind because, I mean, luckily, I live in a state, Massachusetts, that has LGBT protections and has for a very long time. And Stephen and I live together and live a very happy life. I mean, we live a happy life no matter where we live. But, luckily, him and I live in a state like this. I mean, even Indiana is more progressive on LGBT rights than these places. Well, yeah, that's because fucking Mike Pence is no longer there, and that's the reason why Indiana got such a bad rap about it. But even Indiana is one of the many states that still lacks LGBT protections, and it's a major problem, and it's a problem throughout. But okay, let me just say this: as someone who has been to Indiana many times to visit Stephen when he used to live there, I never had any problems. I never had problems with anyone, with anybody. I've never had a problem. I've never had a problem ever in Indiana or anywhere for that matter because of my sexual orientation. I've never had this problem. And if anyone has, I can't tell you how sorry I am and how much I feel for you. But I've never had this problem. But I've never had this problem, and I'm sorry to anyone that has in Indiana or elsewhere. But it just goes to show that look at how we're changing and look at how things are changing. If Alabama is moving away from this kind of thing, then this is a big milestone. This is like a big milestone to say, yeah, the banning of the banning of homosexuality in public schools is basically going to cause more harm than good because it's obviously going to do more harm than good. It's fucking backward. It's just everything. It's just some of these places are just living in the dark ages. Like some of these places are literally the dark ages, and I can't even imagine how people are. I mean, outside the U.S. in a lot of places, it's even worse. Like I was saying about Russia. Look at how LGBT people are treated in fucking Russia under Putin's authoritarian regime. Look at how they're fucking treated. Look at how LGBT people are treated in fucking Russia. Look at how they're treated in fucking in all these places in sub-Saharan Africa. Look at how they're treated in the Middle East. I mean, it's even worse there. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, even in a lot of Asian countries, it's, with the exception of maybe like Japan or places like that. I mean, Japan is socially liberal, but it just goes to show that this country is changing. So with this repeal of what Alabama did, it's a step in the right direction, and if they got rid of these laws, and there's only 4 states left in the country that are still holding on to these fucking dark age level anti-LGBT laws, it just goes to show that I can foresee these laws being done away with altogether, even in these states in the foreseeable future. I can see this happening because it got to the point where in recent years, other states got rid of these laws too. I mean, they were on the books in South Carolina. South Carolina repealed these laws. Arizona did the same thing. Utah also had these laws. They repealed them as well. So there's certain places that still have these laws on their books, and there's only those 4 places left. And then there's, I think Minnesota's one of them. But that's like an old law but it's not involves schools or whatever. But even like Minnesota is a big like champion of LGBT rights as well, despite that. But they still have LGBT protections as well, like most. But we still got work to do. The LGBT community, we still got work to do. We need to pass the Equality Act to prevent these laws, to prevent the far right from undermining our civil rights, because they would not hesitate to do it in a second, okay? They would not hesitate to do it in a second. They would not. So it's necessary for us to get the Equality Act. It's necessary for that because if we leave LGBT rights to the states and whatnot, it's going to allow backward right-wing politicians to continue undermining these laws under the term state rights and whatnot. And I believe in states' rights. I believe in the Constitution part of states' rights and whatnot. And that's what I believe in. I agree with that. But it all just comes down to, if we leave it up to the states, they're going to allow stuff like this to happen, these people that are going to come in. So no, this is a federal issue. Immutable characteristics like LGBT protections are civil rights. These are civil rights issues. These are human rights issues. So this should be a national issue. So yes, that's why it's necessary that LGBT people need to be protected at the federal level. I mean, look at Australia. Australia is a federation. They consist of 6 states and one Northern Territory, and the Northern Territory and the Capital Territory. They all have LGBT protections. And they are a federation. So it should be no excuse for the U.S. It should be no. Canada is a federation. They have provinces. They have provinces as a country, and they have LGBT protections across the board. They've had LGBT protections full on for the last decade and a half at least. So it just goes to show that I can see, as long as. Now see, okay, people, I hate to have to be this person, but I'm going to have to say this. Now, here's the thing about it. I mean, people can say what they want about Biden. I'm no fan of him by any stretch of the imagination. But here's one thing, though. I'm not afraid of Biden undermining my rights as a gay man. I'm not going to sit there. He's not going to. He might be fucky in a lot of other issues, but let's cut to the chase. He's not going to undermine the civil rights of LGBT people or other people. Let's put it that way. So that's an issue where you got to give credit where credit is due. He's been vowing to protect them, and he has been doing that, and has signed executive orders to do so, and he's done things like that, and has campaigned with has made a lot of sacrifices in that area. But let's just hope that he can get the Equality Act passed. And if he can do that, that would be a major milestone for his presidency. And I'm not coming out here trying to defend him or anything, but I'm just saying. This is just a summary to kind of say, hey, Alabama did this, so look at this. This is a big milestone. So let's give the state of Alabama the benefit of the doubt. Let's give them credit where credit is due to say that this is a good thing. This is a good milestone. This is going to set our country for a good path and a good direction. And let's just hope that we can continue doing so, and we can continue this push in this direction, so that way we can pave the way for the repeal of these draconian laws altogether and enact full-on LGBT protections and catch up with the rest of the civilized world. And let's do so. So we can get it done. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. But thank you all for listening, and I just want to get on here and make a little summary about this. So hope you all enjoyed. Comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. I'll be back with more videos, a whole bunch of other content, streams, and other stuff in the works. Stay tuned to find out more videos on the way. Hope you all had a great Christmas and a great holiday. I'll see you all again soon. If I don't see you all before the New Year's, I'll see you all again after the New Year, and here's to a new year, and hopefully 2022 will be a more successful year and a better year for everybody and for the world. So we'll see you all again soon. If I don't see you before New Year's, I'll see you after the New Year's. I'll see you all again soon, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Stream, premiere, whatever it happens to be. See you all again next time. Bye for now. Peace out. Have a good day. And have a great New Year's. See you all again soon. Bye for now. Peace out.